Hello and welcome, SRA Nation, to Week 3, Race 3, here at Monza. Watching the D1 drivers right now. They're going off onto their qualifying. So we're getting this stream started. It's going to be an awesome day today. Watching these folks go around this very infamous track. Loved by some, hated by many, myself included. And I'd like Justin Rowley's picture there. Give a shout out to that picture. That's a good one there.
Yeah, welcome to the booth, Justin.
Yeah, Justin Rowley, his first time here joining us in the booth this week. We're gonna give him a warm welcome. Make sure to break his balls in the chat every time he makes a mistake. I see he's got some of his real life friends in the chat here. Make sure to beat him up when you see him. So yeah, it's gonna be
happy to join. Thanks a lot for the invite. Thanks for all my real life friends, all two of you guys for joining. Thank you very much. Look, happy to be in the booth.
Yeah, and as always, I'm Jess Osborne. I'll be your cameraman.
That's right.
And I'm Paulie Hartman, and I'm in your picture-in-picture. And yeah.
And today we're at the Temple of Speed.
That's right. That's right. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm looking at the chat already. Monza's the worst track on the calendar. I think it's one of those you love it or you hate it tracks.
Yep. It's not the worst. It's certainly the most mediocre. It's Monza.
Yeah. It's Monza, right? I think everyone knows it from the public lobbies, right? The infamous Monza track.
I think 8 out of 10 lobbies are probably Monza.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like everyone gets their legs in this game on Monza.
Oh, definitely.
So it should be interesting to see
most of my first hours on this game were Monza.
Yeah, exactly.
And the game even funnels you into it with the first step of the career. What are you in? Right. A slow Lamborghini? Where are you at? Monza.
That's right. The recipe for disaster. That is. But yeah.
Yeah. So looking at the Division 1 team standings, we're looking at Grid Thieves Motorsports in first place, Blind Hen Racing not too far behind, and Pillars Racing in third place. And I got a shout out to a team near and dear to my heart, Team McLaren Chicane Killers. That's with Victor Diaz and Travis Robinson, not too far behind in fourth place. So you guys better watch out. Yeah, we're watching the silver drivers go on to the grid now. Jess, if you could pull up the individual standings, please.
Yes, sir. Even closer up here. This is where it's exciting.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah, yeah. Fimbres Casas, one of the fastest drivers on the grid, is sitting in first place right now for the overall standings. Felipe Vicini, not too far behind, in second. Nate Lamlin, 164 points in third place. Also, a couple of drivers that I've been taking a close eye on this past couple weeks. Dominic Duran, I think, is my favorite to win this season. With 116 points, sitting in ninth place, he had a fantastic run for the first race at Spa. Had so much of a gap on the rest of the field that he spun and still won the race with like a 15-second gap.
Spin it to
And
win it,
that is
baby.
that is not easy to do. Everyone here is fast. Make no mistake, there are no slow drivers in here. These drivers represent the best of the best of SRA, and I guarantee every single one of these guys could chop you up in an open lobby. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these point standings play out. Another driver I'm taking a close eye on is Patrick Rust from Blind Hen Racing, only 74 points, sitting in 19th place. I think that once all the points even out here a little bit, we're going to see him jump up in the standings really quickly. A very, very, very fast driver. Um, and who we got in the silver division that we're going to be looking at? Yeah, so now we're going into the qualifying sessions of the silver drivers here. A couple of drivers out on grid so far. No one's really set a time quite yet. But oh, actually, my mistake. We have Chris Stefiak with a 148.69 in first place. Jay Kinger sitting in second place with a 149.4. Matt Schwartz with a 149.4 as well. These just represent their first lap around, their first real lap. So we're going to see these times drop quite a bit. I expect most of these drivers are going to be sitting in the mid to high 48s, if not even lower than that, the low 48s, even for the silver division.
Oh, well,
Yeah, so here at SRA, we have two divisions. We have the gold division and we have the silver division. The gold division represents the faster drivers, but like I said, make no mistake, these silver drivers are very fast indeed, and they also have a real chance to win these races. So keep a very close eye on that. Chris Moses jumping up to a 148.8, sitting in second place now. Chris Moses, a SRA veteran here.
yeah, both of
And
these Chris's, no slouches at all. They're poised to win not just their division, but the race too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we have Kay Dromo in the 59 BMW, who is teamed up with Matt Lehman, one of the fastest drivers here at SRA, who hasn't made much of a splash this season. I believe he only competed last race, and he didn't get a very good finish out of it. But I think we're going to see that team shoot up in the standings quite a bit, especially once our drop races are initiated. So after race 3, our standings are going to look a little bit different. Because here at SRA, we have a drop race, give people a chance, because everyone does have a real life, and obviously real life is only slightly more important than racing here at SRA.
A
So we
little
give people
tiny bit, by a hair.
yeah,
A hair.
by hair. So we give people a chance to miss one race or have a bad race and still be able to do good in the standings. He did not participate in the first race this season. So we're going to be seeing what he does at this race today, sitting in the BMW. I believe that's going to be a pretty good car at this track, but we're going to see. A lot of people are going to be crying about how bad their car is this week, myself included, as the Porsches and the McLarens and some of the other cars that are slower in a straight line are going to be struggling here.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually just looking up, what the fastest tracks are, and Coach Dave Academy, which is pretty notorious for having this sort of information. It kind of gives you the best cars for high speed tracks, and it kind of lumps together a few Monza, Paul Ricard, and it actually says that the fastest car is the Ferrari, the 488 GT3 Evo, which I find pretty interesting. I wouldn't have guessed it, but that's apparently what they're saying.
Sometimes I feel like that Coach Dave data may be out of date. I've looked at that before. I'm not really sure. but they have made some recent BOP changes. Last season, I would say it's definitely going to be the Audi, dominating every single
Yeah, I
esports
agree.
league, dominating our league.
The
Every
Audi, the
Audi,
Beamer.
yep. Every single time you got on a high-speed track like Monza or Paul Ricard, the Audi just rocketed away from you. There was nothing you
Yep.
could do. It was almost like you were standing still. It was embarrassing, or they hitting the brakes on the straight or something like that. It would just take off.
Yeah, I could do
But
with
now
less of that.
they've
Yeah,
nerfed it just a
absolutely.
tad. But from what I heard, it is still going to be a formidable car on this track today, and still a formidable car this season. As we're taking a look in the main picture at an Audi. But yeah, Crazy Rabbits Racing. And
Shout
we
out Crazy Rabbits Racing. These guys are pretty dedicated. Is that Funk that we have our eyes
That's
on?
John
I think it
Dilliard.
might be.
And
John Dilliard.
I'm looking at the speed traps for turn 6, and the highest I'm seeing right now is 266 of yours truly, John Dilliard. Freaking rocket ships.
Yep. So there goes that straight line speed of the Audi, showing its teeth right there. We're gonna see. Hopefully, Jess can continue to take a look at that speed trap throughout the race using a new system here. I already see some positive feedback in the chat for our new graphic system, and
Yeah, I'm glad you
playing
like it.
around with it.
I've
Yeah.
this gives us a lot of new tools. It looks slick as hell, that's for damn sure. I really like it. I've been really eager for this stream. Also, I'm eager to do this stream because as a lot of, if any of y'all are content creators, you know, audio is king, and it's been driving me crazy that my Logitech headset was totally ruining the stream quality. And yeah, it would cut in and out and pop and just sound terrible. So I've got a standalone USB mic, and that seemed to become infectious. So now like 2 or 3 of the other broadcasters are like, yeah, I'm gonna get a new mic too, and now we're all improving everything. So it's all to give y'all a better experience. So I hope you're appreciating it.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really do put quite a bit of effort into it, and we love to see all the kind words in the chat. And we're always trying to improve here, making it better every stream, and dealing with some of the technical difficulties. This is not our full-time job, but like we said, only a little bit more important real life, and then SRA. So we really do try to put a lot of work into this, and big shout out to Jess for getting a new mic, because this is already, even on my end over here, sitting in the Discord with him is a big improvement. So very excited to watch this one back, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this as well. But yeah, looking back at the standings, Chris Stefik in the Honda, the number 96, still sitting in first place with a 148.3.
Edging that time down a little bit lower every time.
Yep. Sitting in second, we have Anderson with a 148.6 in the Lambo.
big gap between the two, the first and second. I'm kind of surprised. I'm sure with more time, we'll see that gap kind of dissipate.
Is that Chris right
Yeah.
behind Brian? So if Chris is any faster, he's got to get around Brian. So Brian's in a good
Brian,
spot right
Chris.
here to keep improving, and
Yeah.
maybe nab P1.
Well,
pole.
we only have a little bit left of the qualifying session for the D1 Silver folks. At the 15-minute mark, is going to transition to the qualifying of the gold drivers.
Those unaware, the gold are the faster drivers, so generally they put in faster pit times. And one of the interesting things as well is that the track typically starts, I believe, in a fast state, but by the time that the guys in the silver division have run on it, it's been in an optimum state. So it's a little bit grippier, a little bit faster. So when those D1 guys go out, they have a little bit of an edge over the silver guys. So it's always interesting to see the times they put in. So we'll have to see how this goes. It'll be interesting to see at that top tier of the top split, how they're able to qualify, because Monza can be an interesting track, and unfortunately it tends to be a bit violent.
Yep.
At the very beginning, so we'll have to see how that goes, especially T1, as anyone who's played this game, or any racing game really, knows Monza T1 is always a bit of a disaster, but being in that first spot can really kind of give you an edge as you kind of dodge that train that happens near the back. So it's definitely an interesting position these drivers are in.
Someone improving on their time quite a bit right now, sitting in 9th place, Sanchez, number 23 in the Honda, 2/10 up on his time. That will improve him quite a bit. That'll put him in third place, I believe, if he can hang on to this. Sitting right now with a 1:48.992. Now 3/10, almost 4/10 up on his time going through the last corner here. 4/10 up on his time. Where's he going to place? Where's he going to place? He puts it in second place with a 1:48.602.
Very nice.
Very, very fast from him. The two Hondas sitting in 1 and 2. Honda has been a manufacturer. We've talked about it before. Has just came out of nowhere and started dominating the league. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out here today and seeing if the Hondas can do as well at this track as they have done previously. So far, it's looking like that is the case. Only 20 seconds left of the qualifying session for the silver drivers. As always, if a driver goes across the line, then before the 15-minute mark, then they can set one final lap. A couple of drivers do just that.
Derek Stack tapping out after gaining 5 positions on his last final lap. Good job.
Good job. Good lap.
And the drivers of the gold division are coming out right now. You can see them all lined up over there.
Yeah, just itching to get out for their first lap. The tension's high. One of the things you might have also noticed, if it's your first time joining the SRA streams, is the custom liveries. So people put a lot of effort into these liveries, and it's pretty cool to actually race with the custom liveries on your own computer. So we actually leverage some software just so that it downloads and makes life easier for all of us. But that's one of the things that makes the livery or the league rather really appealing, because it just kind of brings that little edge over some of the other leagues, and it makes it really cool. So I really, personally, I really appreciate that. I think it makes it pretty sharp to drive besides some really cool customs.
Definitely.
Matt Short's improving, one of the last people out to improve, I believe, a 10th and a half, putting him up in 11th place. Good run from him. But yeah, touching up on that, if you can see in the top right there, we have that awesome SRA graphic, retro inspired this season. So all of our liveries, we asked people to come up with a throwback theme, and that was interpreted in a multitude of different ways. But you can see on track a lot of awesome custom liveries that are retro inspired. Every single one of these is, or most of them at the very least, is handmade. So a lot of effort has gone into these very beautiful liveries. And that looks like it for all the silver drivers have now parked their cars, and we're looking at the gold drivers go out on their outlaps here.
Is anyone still out? Maybe Chris Moses, but otherwise I think everyone else is in the pit, as you mentioned. So it'll be really interesting to see how these D1 guys pop up amongst the silver guys who have already placed their laps.
I think Chris is the pit's and done.
Is he?
All right. So if we could try to find someone that is starting their lap, maybe Fimmers Casas, who just started a lap, maybe we can try to do a track walkthrough. Actually, maybe not. He just went through the first corner. But if we can find someone that just went around, I'd love to give the viewers a little bit of a walkthrough of the track from Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry, I missed that. Are we bringing up a track mat or no?
No track map today.
All right, nothing. No fancy graphics, still good. So Monza, as we kind of chatted about, is an interesting track. I think it's the one on the calendar with like the least amount of turns. So kind of walking you through the track here, we have a pretty substantial straightaway right off the bat, and it leads into the first 2 turns. So Variante del Rettifilio. So it's kind of a right kink and then a left kink. Those are really famous for being pretty contentious in the racing. A passing point, but I'd say more of a point for contact than it is for passing. I think it terrifies everyone. A lot of Code Brown moments behind that one. Right after that, we have a really long sweeping right, Curva Grande. Really kind of a nice, like, easy turn. One of the interesting things about that is you can kind of save your tires a little bit if you take a specific line. That leads into 4 and 5, Variante de Rogia. A really slow turn. I think you drop into first. Again, a left-right kink. Then we have 2 famous curves. Those are the Curve de Lesmo, So it's two right-handers kind of at different angles, but you can take them with speed. As opposed to basically the other turns that I've discussed so far, which are pretty slow. So actually for the rest of the turns, you take them pretty fast. At that point, there's Variante Ascari, which is basically turn 8, 9, and 10. That's another, I believe it's a left, right, left kink. The left in there can really upset cars. There's a bit of a curve. We actually just saw the driver right there go past it. Pretty dangerous curve. If you really don't commit with the weight balance of the car, it really upsets the car and can really throw you into the wall. I actually speak from experience, happened to me yesterday in the practice race. And then there's the famous Curva Parabolica, a really pretty speedy sweeping turn that leads you right back into the start straight.
And that's it. That's why people think Monza is boring.
Yep. And that
That's
was
it.
Travis Robinson with a 149.5. Definitely a lot of improvement that we can see from him. I know.
Great demo, though. Thank you, Trav.
Yeah, thank you for sacrificing yourself there for the demonstration. But he's in the gold split. I know that he can go way up on his time there. Racing with him the other day, he was putting in some really good times. So that's a driver we're going to be watching out for. I know that this track, a lot of people were debating on the setups, on the amount of wing to use, and so that's good. That's going to be another interesting thing that we're going to look at. The faster way is to use less wing, but the trade-off is less stability through some of these corners, especially in the last chicane there that Justin was talking about. Ascari is known for taking your car and flinging it right off the track. So hopefully we don't see too much of that today. But those drivers that decide that to do less wing are going to have less stability through there. So we're going to be watching out for that. People who are going to be going a little slow through there, especially later on during the race when their tires are worn,
Yeah, in
and
terms of
how people
setup,
navigate that.
in terms of setups, like there's not, talk me through it, guys. Like, what do you think? Like, I find that this is probably a track again with some of the other ones on the, with Paul Ricard and stuff. That there's not a metric ton of variation, right? Lowest wing possible. You can try to get really you focus on speed rather than the turns.
Definitely. I can only speak with the experience of really the Porsche around here, because this is where I got most time under my belt. You'd think you just drop all the aero and pray to the speed gods on the straights, but it's really not worth it. I found, and what I'm hearing other people have also corroborated this, that it's really not worth it to drop that last bit of aero because you lose so much through the straights and you gain, through the corners and you gain nothing through the straights. So you might as well keep a little bit of aero and I don't know, for different race lengths, you might get creative with pit stops. But for this, I think it's pretty straightforward. Beyond that, I don't really know because I'm not a mechanic. I don't do the setup stuff. I know just enough to survive. That's it.
No, fair enough. I mean, I think I agree with you though. Like, I typically do something around the same. Like, I have wing like one from the bottom, just because it gives me, even if it's not there, it gives me that little bit of confidence that I know that there's at least some wing kind of pushing me towards the ground, just for some traction. No, I totally see what you mean. But I mean, will be interesting to see. And it being these guys being D1, they want to squeeze all the time they can. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have literally zero wing. If that's an option on their setup.
So taking a look back at the leaderboards, we have Michael Mowing with a 148.1, sitting in first place now. Members Casas.
Everybody, he's a champion. He deserves his name being said right. Everybody say it with me. Michael Menning.
Menning. Sorry, my apologies. Michael Menning.
He's a hero.
Okay.
I believe it might be spelt wrong.
Then we have Fimbers Casas with just put it in second place with a 148.132. Matt Lehman, who we were talking about earlier, with a 148.217. And fourth place, Brooker Quigg with a 148.2. So, these times are shaving off pretty rapidly now. What's interesting to see is that we still, 6 minutes left of the qualifying, we have 3 silver drivers still in the top 10. So like we were saying, these drivers definitely have a chance to win the race. They're not too far off of the top pace, as long as Michael Menning and Fingers Casas and Matt Lehman don't start running away, which has been seen before. So, yeah, we're going to see how this pans out. 5 minutes left of the qualifying session. Let me take a look at what.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of time. Like looking at the, 148-1, 148. It's really close, but it'll be interesting. I mean, I wonder how the starting order, how they're going to approach the race based on the starting order, right? Like, it'll be interesting to see the final results and how that mirrors the starting grid, depending on the track. I mean, something tells me this one will be pretty close, but it'll be interesting to see how it actually turns out.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot of time to be gained on this track from car to car. The top 21 are all within 1 second of each other, or less, rather, 8/10 of each other, all in the 48s. As I'm taking a look at Tyler James in the picture-in-picture, desperately trying to get into the 48s. He keeps going back and forth between a 10th up, nothing up, a 10th up, 2/10 up, nothing. So I know I saw Tyler James huffing it in the practice server quite a bit this week. We're going to see what he does. Tyler James, our glorious leader and owner here at SRA, had a bit of a poor season last season due to some technical difficulties. So he's
Couldn't
been
happen to a nicer
really
guy.
trying his hardest. Yeah, I know, but he's been really trying to make a splash this season. A lot of new fast drivers have joined the league, rendering his 2 championships all but worthless, as everyone else just completely just eclipses him in speed and. But he's done very well the past 2 races. I'm hoping to see him make a good race this race as well. Actually, correction, he was not here for the previous week, and Doug did a good job in his place. Also,
Thank you, Doug.
one of our glorious leaders here at SRA. Tyler James does not make it into the 48s that lap around. Trying again, once again, up a 10th, down a 10th, up a 10th, down a 10th. It's really making me nervous here. I want to see him up and, above the top 20. Otherwise, I know he's going to be a little bit disappointed with himself. 39 drivers have joined us here today. A decent turnout for us.
Not a bad grade at all.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we end up with 39 or maybe just shy of that.
Just shy, I think. I
Just
think we
shy.
got to sacrifice at least one person to the Monza
I think
gods.
The Monza gods.
The Monza T1 Lap 1 gods. If you've played this game in any sort of open lobby like we were talking about before, like 1 in every 5 open lobbies are on Monza, I think we all know the chaos that is T1 Lap 1, where everyone decides they forgot how to use their brake pedal and smashes into each other. So we've really tried to drive home the fact that no, we're not going to do that, even though it's very easy at this track because it's big straightaway and then you come to almost a complete stop. So we're trying to drive home, don't do that. And we've had a lot of drivers put in some good practice this week in order to not do that. But we're going to have to see how that plays out. Hopefully not too many shenanigans.
Jose Guzman in the chat says I'm quiet. I apologize, Jose. I will try to speak up a little bit.
I think he just only wants to hear you.
Maybe he loves my nasal voice. I think he just wants to hear that.
I bumped you up 10% as well.
Tyler James puts it in 11th place with a 148.6. So there we go. Glad to see that from him. Don Bellinger about to finish his lap here. He's almost 4/10 up. If he can maintain
That's
that,
huge, massive.
Yeah, if he can maintain that, I think he'll be in the top 5.
And he's going in sector 3 right now. He doesn't have far to go. Last turn.
Ooh, and he gains a little bit.
He's got it.
Loses a little bit.
He's got it.
Oh no!
I love it.
He's got
Push. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Gonna push the right of the finish line a little bit. Just yeah, absolutely
It's
is.
a P8. Very nice.
Fantastic lap. Nice.
Time for one more.
Whew. Can he
Only a
string two together?
only a minute left in the qualifying session, so you're going to see all these drivers make their last scramble to get a good lap in.
I love that Cartoon Network livery.
I-
Johnny Bravo
It's
on the
so
side.
great.
That is,
One of my
that is
favorite liveries
hilarious.
here.
Liveries. That's it. I keep saying livery. I think I was getting some shit in the chat for that, but
It's all right.
not sure. I'm not sure why I pronounce it that way.
Let's try to sneak in the cheat sheet for you
That's
on the
right.
sly.
That's right.
Livery, tomato, tomato.
That's what I say. You know what I mean?
Matt Lehman, there is still time to be gained from him. Up 2/10 up on his time. He's trying to put it in P1. And it looks like I missed it, but Michael Menning with a 1:47.847.
He broke the 47s.
Fan-freaking-tastic time from him. That is amazing. And an
Fantastic.
Aston Martin, no less.
Crushed it.
Oh, yeah. That is dream times right there. And it looks like he parked it. He said, I ain't doing no better than that.
Did he hack the gearing in his car or something? How the hell?
Definitely hacked the game. I think we're going to have to look back at that, see where he skipped the track as Matt Lehman throws away this lap. Or actually, no, my apologies. Matt Lehman also breaks into the 47s. Matt Lehman with a 1:47.882, just behind Michael Menning.
By 800ths. Or 400ths, excuse me.
And Matt Lehman for pole, not quite, as the qualifying session is over, but very close. I think we're going to see a fantastic battle between these two, clearly showing their domination in practice that they put in this week. Only a couple drivers left out on the track. Funk going up and down on his time, going through the last couple corners. He decides that it ain't worth it to go across the line. He's going to go into the pits.
Good practice, easy beat.
Jeffries, who is going up and down on his time as he loses it and decides that it's over. So that is the end of our qualifying session. That is a great qualifying session. I was wondering if we were going to see anyone break into the 47s. I knew it was possible. I'd seen it before. But during a qualifying session, that is no easy feat to break into the 47s. Like we were saying before, there's not a whole lot of time to be gained on this track. Most of the drivers are within the 48s within a second of each other. So fantastic times from them. Not easy to do in a qualifying session, all the pressure laid on there. Yeah, also there's a bit of an issue with the picture-in-picture while we're stopped here for a second. If you wouldn't mind, when you have a chance, closing your chat box.
Oh, my bad.
This is my favorite camera angle before every race. The glide down pit straight.
Jose asks, how's the broadcast app? According to Jess, the broadcast app is fantastic.
Love it.
Offers a lot of new tools, and as you can see, we got that beautiful graphic on the left and on the bottom there. I think it looks awesome. We're going to have to see how it plays out through the rest of the race, but so far we're loving it. As we're looking at a walkthrough of all the different drivers and their beautiful skins.
I also want to give a quick shout out to, I believe it was the third place driver, Frimbris Cassis, who unfortunately this week his dog passed away. So he edited his livery to place a photo of the dog. So shout out that dog, rest in peace.
So sorry,
2008
Diego.
2022. Horrible news. You know, the dog lives on in the livery. Good luck in the race tonight. You know, all the best. We dedicate this race, jeez, to the passed away dog. It's always terrible losing a pet.
I believe the dog's name was Chiquis.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
I may be butchering that name. I'm very sorry. It is. It's always unfortunate to lose a doggo, and we see the zoom in there. Yeah, ripped.
20 seconds.
Chiquis. Yeah. Oh, and
We're almost
Jess,
underway.
it appears that now the picture-in-picture is like frozen.
That's not right. Just one moment, please.
One moment, everyone. How long into the race? Almost there.
As the first drivers go underway here.
That's right.
There we go. Picture-in-picture back up.
Easy. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Juggling a couple new things tonight. Please sound off in chat how you feel about the camera direction. 80% of the camera and driver choices that you've seen so far has been done by the autopilot of the software. I think it's done a pretty good job. But let me know if you think anything's wrong and you'd like it improved.
If you see anyone, or if you have a friend or family that you want to see on camera, let us know. We'll switch it over to them if we have time as well.
We'll make sure to never show them the entire race.
That's right.
So so you never get to see them. If you're listening, flash your lights.
Yeah, flash them.
That'd be great. We have our eyes peeled for the flashing lights. It's cheating. If you're listening, you're cheating. Getting pit strategy here from the commentators. I actually really like that Tyson BMW livery
It's
as
so
well.
good.
That's beautiful. There's so many really good ones this year. I really like them a lot.
Chicken tendies on the back are top notch. That is a team of Dromo and Lehman. Very dominant team indeed.
Right now we are probably halfway, about halfway through the formation lap. Everyone going back and forth to just warm up their tires. And for those unaware, the cars they're kind of in ghost mode during the formation lap, so they can actually collide into each other with no issue. But the second the race starts, that obviously goes away and collisions cause mass chaos. So
No cars have been harmed during the making of this outlap.
Yes.
Yet, until someone warms up their tires a little bit too hard and sends it into the wall.
It's funny you mention that.
Instantly leaves.
You can damage yourself, I believe, if you crash into a wall, but
Yes.
you can't damage other drivers, right? Don't punt the instructions right there as well.
I embarrassingly did that Spa. I couldn't believe myself. I was completely livid. 10 seconds of damage before the race even starts.
It's horrible.
I was ready to ult F4, but I hung in there. So
that's painful, and that's a track you really don't want. You don't want it on any track, but that track you don't want damage. It's just up, down, left, right. Way too many turns on that one. Not in the McLaren anyway. So one turn to go before we hit the pit straight. This is around the time you can see everyone getting real close and comfy. This is around the time the little thing pops up and tells you, hey, it's about to start, get in your position. So basically what we'll see is them line up, and then once that first guy hits the start, the race will be off. Wish we had like a drum roll sound effect.
that would be a question for Jess.
I don't
Does
have
the Porsche have a large enough fuel tank for this race?
I believe it does, yeah.
Good question, actually. That's a really good one.
All right, so we're coming up to the line. And we're off and away here at SRA. Week 3, race 3 here at Monza. Coming into turn 1.
Oh, nearly going 3 wide right off the bat. Got a Porsche, Aston, and a BMW. Oh, and we got...
Oh, and we're
lots
3
of
wide.
Shuffling. People in the grass. 73 is in the grass. Takes out a bunch of people through turn 1. An unfortunate Audi sitting there. Oh my goodness. Already carnage at T1. 19 of Victor Diaz also around. Taking the slip road. There's a Porsche in the carnage as well. not what we wanted to see off the top here. We have one of the number 66 in the Ferrari already with front end damage.
Oh, and
Yeah,
there's
this
more
could be-
chaos at turn 3.
It's chaos at turn 3 already. I mean, you know
They
what?
survive.
It's
They take the
inevitable.
escape road, but it's racy out here already.
It is. It is. I already see an F in the chat. I assume there's going to be a few more. Oh!
And there's more.
Yep, it looks like Jeffries and Robinson got together again here. Unfortunate for them as they're falling back from the rest of the pack.
Look at the hood of that McLaren. It's just kind of sagging on the ground. I mean, I think Colin Shea nailed it in the chat. Carnage T1 Monza. I mean, what's a better combo than that, right? It's inevitable.
So
And
I
why
believe
does
we
it
just
have
had
to be everyone from my team?
15 separate instances of accidents just now. I think
Not
that's
right.
more than we have in entire races, usually.
Well, you know, stewards have their hands full.
Oh, and we have a blind hand racing of Patrick Russ spun out. What happened here?
Unlucky.
Actually, I'm not going to play with the instant replay stuff yet because I haven't become experienced with it. But Chris Stefiak just gets around Brooker Quigg right now.
All right, the start of lap 2 hopefully should be cleaner at this point. I love the Zeller's livery. My God, that's amazing. Start of lap 2, generally, we can see the cars space out a little bit. Should be a bit cleaner. As I say that, we have like 4 cars going into T1 side by side.
Oh, accordion effect in full effect. But they make it.
They make it. So this is the thing about the D1 drivers. They keep it clean. Or they try to. Everyone tries to.
He overtaking Eric Boardman.
Like Nick Sand and Liam Brooks getting in an incident. Brooks and getting the better of it, and Wagner getting around Nick Sand.
Right now, the positions are Michael Moaning, James
Menning.
Riley, Matt Lehman, Grant Menning. I'm so sorry, Michael Menning, Grant Kinsing, and Diego Paul from Casas.
As another Team McLaren driver goes off, Evan Kim filters to the back of the pack. Another L for Team McLaren.
Unlucky.
But one of the only drivers to make it through unscathed for my team is Josh Damiani. So, yep, okay.
Fingers crossed for Damiani here.
Tight pack here. A lot of drivers within a second of each other. After P4, everyone seems to be grouped up as 1, 2, and 3 seem to rocket away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, particularly P1 and P2. Wait, what's this? Oh, never mind. Sorry, the Delta. I saw the Delta close up and I thought something happened. But yeah, Michael Menning, nice comfortable lead. And it's chaos behind him.
Michael Menning also puts in a purple lap so far, of course, with a 149.617. I believe, is that a 2-second gap that he has? No. Sorry, I'm trying to read this new software. I'm looking at the wrong spot here. Oh, there it is, the Delta 0.7. So he's actually got fairly substantial pressure on him. In fact, the first 3 are keeping it pretty close. The picture-in-picture is even showing a pretty intense battle as well.
Yep, that's Busick and Vicini duking it out here, almost side by side. As Busick touches Vicini, sends him off the track. Not much Busick can do there as he carries on.
Well, the
Vicini
second touch
back
almost
onto the
set him
track.
straight, but it was too much and spun him the opposite way around.
And it looks like Mike Scott is talking some smack in the chat here, saying D4 made
Felipe
it through lap 1
Vicini and Bradley
relatively clean.
Busick come together, and both of them don't seem to come out well for that one. Or either together or separate incidents. Josh Damiani comes out the winner. But he is also in the he's leading a train now.
Josh, oh no!
And can he recover?
Goes off the track.
He recovers, mostly.
And that McLaren rear end grip keeps him glued to the track. Thank God he kept that one alive.
And that could have been so much worse.
lost all those positions gained there.
He just got
as
ate up
Busick,
by that
Schwartz,
train that he was
Gardner,
leading.
Johnson.
Oh, and Tyler James.
Vicini.
Tyler James is off and loses like 6 positions just now.
Oh, just tragedy all up and down the field.
My God.
Does this work? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong person.
Nope, it did. Looks like we have a.
Here's
Oh,
Tyler.
there you go.
I was a little late. Sorry. But yeah, I think that looked like he got spun by somebody else. That didn't look like he oversteered.
As Funk gets passed by Chris Moses. As
Oh.
Funk and Dilliard, two Crazy Rabbits teammates, are next to each other now.
Ooh, it's gonna be a hell of a chat in the pit when the race is over between those two, I can imagine.
Ooh, Chris Stefiak and yep, still getting into it.
Oh, back and forth those two.
Funk looking over to overtake Chris Moses again here, going too wide through this turn.
Diego nearly going off. Really
It's funny.
adventurous in that sand.
I know when you literally just touching it really screws your momentum. So the exits are fairly wide, so you can kind of take advantage of them. But if you take advantage a little bit too much, then it just totally screws you up.
Oh, Matt Lehman and James Riley touching each other, going off track.
Jeez. This is some elbows out in tonight's race. I think we can confidently say no one's taken any prisoners. But Michael Scott commenting on the display here. It looks like the caution icon shows the people off track. So that's pretty cool. And Jose is also commenting that
I have fixed it. The delta should be correct now. Thank you
Okay.
for pointing it out.
Good
I
call.
was showing personal best deltas, not race deltas,
Ah,
because we were in qualifying and I didn't fix it when we went to the race. Thank you. Ooh, get a little scrappy here. Oh no! And he plants the gas again. It's too much grass. It goes around. James Riley contact with Chris Stefiak, and James Riley plummets down to P16 for that. Oh, that sucks.
As Riley also backs it into the wall, adding insult to injury.
And
Not a good day.
no rest because he's right in the open maw of more drivers.
If I was just looking at a very intense battle between San and Carter, as Carter overtakes Riley.
Ooh, a little bumpy over here. Oh, we have all sorts of contact up here. Chris Moses, John Dilliard, Taylor Carter, and Riley all coming together. And more. Robinson and Vicini. There's
string of
literally
drivers.
too much action here to keep track of
I
everything.
know.
I was taking a look at this battle earlier. These drivers are taking no prisoners. This group of Audis being sandwiched by some Mercedes. Very interesting battle that I've been watching here.
I'm looking at the positions gained. It looks as though Taylor Carter, a whopping 12 positions. Nick Sand with 10. Oh, my mistake. Colin Johnson with 13. So we've had quite a few substantial moves in terms of the unfortunate section. I'll say that the down positions. Philip Vicini, 16, lost 15 positions. So really unfortunate, as well as Jason Kinger. So it must have been some brutal contact for those two unfortunate gentlemen, because they've lost quite a few positions there.
It looks like up in the front, we have Matt Lehman and Grant Cleansing duking it out for second place. Matt Lehman only 4/10 behind Cleansing. We're going to stay on the onboard of Matt here and see how this one plays out.
Uh-oh, James Riley. And we caught him at the last moment, getting way too deep into turn one, and he's having a hell of a time trying to get back onto it, and he throws in the towel. Sorry, James.
Unlucky.
Yeah, especially after that little donut there. I might do the same. Matt Lehman, only a 10th off, looking up the inside of Cleansing here. He's going to see if he can make something happen coming up to this chicane here.
Jose, absolutely. we need to do a race commentary together. I need to get a little bit more comfortable with this. So you'll have to give me a hard time every time on stream I say something wrong. Hold me to it. I like it. Who has a lot of aero damage? We'll have to see.
On Lehman, thinking about the inside, not getting quite enough boost from the slipstream to get the job done, though.
That Beamer, it's quite the, not exactly the slimmest car, so I would imagine it would benefit pretty substantially from the aero advantage, though.
Probably.
In the T1 here, Lehman looking up the inside, decides he can't make anything happen. Maybe sends it a little deep in the brake there, but holds it together.
Lehman, I love it with the mind games. Showing him he's close enough to overtake, but he's maybe wait till next lap.
Udon Bellinger getting passed by Danny Durant and Caldromo.
Michael Menning drops the fastest lap to a 148.917. So he's just making some serious gains up there. But that being said, he's got pretty substantial pressure on him from Grant right behind him, as well as Lehman. So definitely a close racing, and it's a pretty interesting watch so far for sure.
But it's even more interesting from the driver's perspective. Pretty much everybody's involved in a battle. How do you even commentate on this?
It's true. Like, which one do you pick? You know what I mean? You're absolutely right.
We need
Jackson
like
nailed
12
it.
teams.
That's right. That's right. Like, look at that. Like, that looks like lap 1.
Yeah, it looks like lap 1. It's
You know
crazy.
what I mean? That's wild. Keeps it exciting for us. Keeps it exciting for the drivers. Keeps the pressure up. What do you guys think? I was gonna say, what do you guys think the pit strategy? Maybe I should cancel my question because Tyler. Is that Tyler?
Yeah, that's Tyler James looking up the inside there.
Making a move. Is it gonna stick?
And he gets it.
He gets
Slides right up the inside.
Good stuff.
Oh, and Matt Lehman is looking up the inside, trying to see if he can get him on turn 1. Looks like Grant Cleansing is going to have the better exit out of the corner, but they're side by side.
And they're probably going to remain so into the next turn. That rocket ship can stay abreast even going around the long way. Did he just stuck his nose ahead? I think the Audi's going ahead.
Yep, there's the Audi power there. As he's taking the inside, Matt Lehman is forced to tuck in behind, but once again, side by side, coming out of the corner.
Matt is the inside.
Their battle here has allowed Menning to rocket ahead 9.5 seconds ahead of them as Matt Lehman takes the position.
Man, the Ledsmo turns take no prisoners.
Cleansing under pressure immediately right behind again, having to defend from Fimbres Casas only 2/10 off.
Wow. See, the battle just made them just drop right back. Fimbres Casas is just right up their butt now.
Right on board of Fimbres Casas, taking a look, see what he sees.
Ooh. He's hungry. You can tell he's hungry.
And they're all getting adventurous with the track bounce, especially Chris. Chris just drove in from out of state. Did you see that 15-degree re-entry?
I did. I love it. The pressure on this one is just crazy. I mean, the groups are just so tight. There's, I almost feel like there's less people on the road.
Coadromo going up the inside of Danny Durant in the last corner.
Durant's must
braver on the brakes, I guess.
Yeah, must have been.
Ooh, Fimbres Casas tries to make something happen, hits the curb, loses a little bit of speed there. Cleansing is going to get the better exit out of the corner. Still a very tight group here. Going to take a look back. Quig, Stefiuk, Fimbres Casas, and Cleansing, and Matt Lehman, all within a second of each other. Very interesting battle here for the top 3.
KFC livery. Gotta love it.
A lot of chicken-themed liveries.
Now
Yeah.
you've got him saying livery.
Oh,
Livery,
that's
library.
right.
Oh no.
Uh,
Tomato. The whole team can be saying it.
that's right. I think that's the real way to say it. That's my. I'm just gonna convince everyone to say it.
Yeah, these damn Canadians. I'm hip, Jose. Get them out of here. How's it going? B4 BBO.
Heller also has a U. Anyway.
Hey, none of that.
Okay.
Go,
Alright,
go get your Timmies and.
All right. I know my place. I'll leave
Yeah,
it
get
at
out of here. Yeah.
Right, library. All right.
Well,
The
the race is
ugly
starting to calm
top
down a
hat
little
of
bit
America.
now. But we still got a few small trains, but they're breaking up.
I was gonna say, gents, what do you think I mean, I guess the pit strategy really depends on your place, but I don't think it's not like a brutal pit lane on Monza, so you don't
Nope.
lose a metric ton of time. So it'll be interesting to see how people play it, especially the top or the people that are really in really tight groups.
Yep, 7 minutes left to the pit window. So people are going to be looking at when they're going to be doing that pretty soon here.
Yeah.
It's like the number 8 had some sort of bump in the track. That was interesting.
Fingers crossed, no one accidentally left tires on. I know that's been a source of heartbreak for a lot of people in a lot of leagues when they pit, and then all of a sudden their time says 30 seconds instead of the anticipated 3 or 4.
Yep.
It's happened to all of us once or twice.
Or thrice.
Or thrice. I like it, that's right.
Some of this group for the top positions here has broken up a little bit, but we still have Quig, Stefiak, and Famous Casas battling for 4th place. In a nice tight group, all half a second off of each other or less.
A little bit of damage on that Cartoon Library. Cartoon Network livery.
Yeah, that's why it's not good to be mid-pack qualifying here, as we saw from a lot of people who didn't get a good lick out of T1 there.
Also, don't paint your
early
race cars
damage.
black. All the damage is so visible. Amateur mistake.
True. It's true. It's funny, you know, when you look in your rear mirror, and you see that damage, it gives you that little tiny confidence boost. If you have no damage, you know, you think to yourself, all right, well, I've one up over this guy. He's got damage, I don't. So there's a bit of a mind game with the damage. I guess your car would have to be all white, so no one would see all the damage.
Oh, but no, then the damage will be gray and black. So the pro tip is to have a gray car.
Gotcha. I like it. Oh,
Or just, ooh, a little squirrely there.
almost.
Or just paint the scrapes on when you make the livery,
Oh yeah.
and then no one will notice.
Pre-scarred.
True.
Like a battle scar.
Wait, I think I think somebody in here has a battle scarred livery
That's awesome.
right out of the box.
Yeah, they had a Boba Fett themed
Yeah, that's it.
livery.
Oh my goodness.
One of my favorites from the reveal stream. If you guys haven't seen that and you're part of the league or not a part of the league, it's a very funny stream to watch. So, highly suggested. Grade A content there.
Those also on the YouTube channel, I suggest watching the previous races. I believe all of the races are there, so you can go jump back and see some of the historical races. Always really good to watch.
We archived them all.
Victor
Oh, what's
showing
going on?
a little bit
Liam
of
Brooks
damage.
and Tyler James having a
Oh.
moment? What happened?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Spicy.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
Oh,
Sorry, Tyler.
terrible.
He nearly kept it. You could literally see how hard he was trying to keep that Tyler James, but he just lost it there. And unfortunately, someone was victim.
Victor Diaz losing out to Dae-Hyun just now. Why?
It's the two Team McLarens there, side by side.
Oh, yeah.
Team McLaren?
The Team
Of
McLaren,
McLarensville?
McLaren side by side from McLarensville, both with damage as well. It's very similar right now.
It's like Fimbres Costas rubs his way past Chris Defiek. Chris
Smooth.
is not
Second I
done
switch
with
off.
this though.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you, this is a great race to watch. Keeping the pressure on. It still looks like the fastest lap is a 1:48.917 for Michael Menning. Pretty fast for race pace, to be fair. That's pretty amazing as he keeps that top spot.
Very fast for race pace, full
Yeah.
fuel, very fast.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Full fuel.
I just don't get it. 'Cause, like, I know I've done 149s maybe like a year ago in the Porsche before, and now all of a sudden the best I can hope for is a low 150. Tomorrow's gonna be rough for me, boys.
I think you speak for all of us when you say that, so I understand entirely. I love the groups though. Certainly exciting racing, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
sometimes in these races, everyone's like 2, 3, 4 seconds apart. Then
Not
the
here.
broadcast-
There's only like
Not here.
3 drivers that are out in no man's land right now. Everybody else is fighting. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we
exactly.
can't really focus on too many people. I'm trying to give everybody some screen time. But everybody's fighting. Can y'all relax? Like, look at this. Look at this.
Jesus.
Fimbres Casas and Chris Defiek still battling hard right now. Chris Defiek got ahead for just a moment. Fimbres Casas takes it right back.
I feel like they've been battling for a while. It's almost like
They
since the start of
have.
the race, these guys. So they're gonna have
Yep.
when they take off their gloves at the end of this race, they're gonna have to burn those gloves. Oh my goodness.
Not quite sending it, but putting the pressure.
Man,
Trying to force the mistake.
absolutely. You can see the mind games kind of peeking in the little, see what he can do.
And their battle has grouped the rest of the field up back behind them. Fimbres Casas, Defiek, Quig, and Sanchez all battling it out once again.
All incredibly close together.
On the note of applying pressure and mental games, you really got to lean into that and lay it on thick on this track, because we were talking about it before the race. There's not a lot of room for racecraft and stuff on making passes that way in this track. It's just about speed and capitalizing on mistakes. Because if the guy in front of you, even if you're like half a second faster than them, unless you line up the perfect slingshot, they just have to confidently take the apex, and there's really not much you can do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of the places where, passes, you could argue that, it's a decent spot. You really have to stick your elbow out if you want. And so there's a high chance of contact. So like you're saying, you kind of rely on putting the mental game on
Yep.
and hoping they stick a tire or two in the grass and losing that momentum.
Yeah, you got to put yourself all over the rear view mirrors or side mirrors, and you got to make them think that you can do something crazy.
Yeah.
Defiek and Fimbres Casas once again going side by side. Defiek jumps ahead as Sanchez tries to capitalize on the position loss here. I think we're seeing a little bit of that Porsche straight line speed hindrance going on
so.
here. Is
think
that Honda seems to overtake him every single straightaway, and then Fimbres Casas takes it right back. This has got to be
Ooh,
frustrating.
and
for
right
him.
up the inside.
Yep.
Inside.
Takes it right back. Look at that. This is
Fantastic
just a ballet right here.
It really is, and it's fantastic racing for these guys because, for those unfamiliar, it's hard to sense the virtual space of your car.
Yep.
So, racing this close without contact it's an art.
Well, speak for yourself. Join the VR Master Race, and that won't be a problem.
My bad.
I'm guessing really good audio helps the positional.
Oh, that too.
That's
Join the audio file Master Race and the VR Master
what I'm
Race,
trying
and you'll
to
be
do.
unstoppable.
Next
Yeah,
up on my
stay
shopping list is nice headphones.
as if sim racing wasn't expensive enough. Now I gotta buy a VR headset and some crazy headphones.
Well, take the
Expensive
choice.
hobby.
It's either a $500 pair of headphones or a $1,000 monitor. It's ridiculous. Or,
Yeah, true. One way to look at it. Triple
Yeah.
screens, Jose, would be amazing. The only thing about triple screens for those, sim racing is you need the space. You need to like dedicate a chunk of a room.
As we see the first person go into the pits there.
Is that right?
That was Fimbers Casas, I
We got a
believe,
few
just
people going
headed
to the
into the
pits.
pits.
Dropping off right away so that, just trying to tuck in. Maybe he had damage. Just trying to, get it over with early. Trying to undercut everyone else.
Durant, Wagner, and Funk all also hopping right behind him. Carter also hopping into the pits.
Funk, super fast driver, has had not a ton of luck this race. He's been battling with his teammates, which is really interesting. I think he's gonna make up a few places by the end. I absolutely see it.
Anderson, Boardman, Sand, Jeffries also hopping into the pits.
So it looks like
A couple more drivers behind. Brooks also hopping into the pits.
Michael Menning, Matt Lehman, Grant, Chris Stefiak, Max Sanchez hold the top 5 right now who didn't duck into the pits. So it'll be interesting when they dive in to see where they come out.
I think Fimbers Casas was a little bit sick of all the pressure he was getting there. Decided to hop in the pits, see if he can, overcut him a little bit, so he wasn't doing this dangerous dance of back and forth every single lap.
That's right. Not a bad call, to be honest. Take the pressure off. Just get a fast lap in. Hope you can come out in front of the guy.
That is if you're not hung up by some traffic as you get out of the pit lane. So
right.
Always a gamble.
Jose saying he's going to get a smaller bed so he can do triple screens. That is dedication. unlike any other. I love it.
Excellent.
Smaller bed. Who needs sleep when you have sim racing? That's what I always say.
You don't need a bed. You got the floor.
You got that's what the floor's for.
Yeah.
You can duct tape your stuff to the wall.
Yeah, do it like the old days. Get some straw, lay them out on the floor.
Straw.
Yeah. Like I said, real life is only just slightly more important than SRA. It really should be.
It's mostly just the family aspect of life, actually. The rest of it,
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why, because you need to actually have stability in a family in order to, continue sim racing.
Somebody's got to support you in this silly hobby.
Yeah.
Diego didn't grab fuel.
Didn't grab fuel
in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shoot.
Diego.
Does he still have a wall icon beside his name?
He does still have he's got a pit marker on him.
That is unfortunate. That is
no.
Unfortunate. Did anyone else make the same mistake? I'm trying to look at who had pitted as well. I'm wondering if it just in theory is... shouldn't be. I'm wondering if it has any of the association with the ACC TV broadcast software, perhaps.
Well, it might be a little bit off because I forgot to plug in that there's one mandatory pit stop until a few minutes ago. So I'm not sure how it would have counted a couple of the early pits.
So those watching maybe don't know.
Maybe don't 100% trust what that counter
put
says.
Money down.
The drivers know what they're doing. Their game's not lying to them.
That's right.
But again, Sanchez back to duking it out still. 4/10 off, and Sanchez elects to head in the pits. Says no thank you to the pressure.
Getting darker as well in the tracks. I think by the time the race ends, well, it's almost pitch black as it is. I mean, there's some lights on the track, obviously, and the cars do. But,
Jeromo, Moses, and Bellinger all elect to head in the pits behind.
Top 3, still no pits. I think the pressure from the top 3, he will be the first to dive in, Tyler James, 9th place, even after that contact. That's pretty spectacular.
We'll see where he ends up after the pit shenanigans are done. As San almost takes a little bit of a trip in the sand.
Yeah, I
Coming-
think the
coming out there.
graphic is not updating because I see it's saying pit for a lot of people, and
Yeah,
I've seen
doesn't
pit a
seem
few
right. So I'm
times.
just gonna remove this, and we'll ignore it.
Not a bad idea. Although it is a really cool thing to have,
Yep.
and it is
Probably my
quite
fault.
cool.
It's doing its job.
Yeah, it's all good to be honest.
Fired.
It's a good catch, Daniel. Didn't notice that ourselves, but it will be good to have in future.
Yeah, like we said, if you missed the qualifying session, this is a new tool that we're trying out here, and still working out some of the kinks, but we're loving it so far. Sure, Jess can maybe speak more on that.
Oh yes, still learning a couple things that I would know in a cinch from ACC race control, but I'll get it figured out. I just got to read the manual again.
One of the cool things I actually just saw is that there's a predictions tab, and it tells you their actual pit time.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. All around the 33 mark. Some 30.
San and Wagner trading positions. Looks like Wagner overtakes. After San's foray into the off track there a little bit, cost him that position in the end.
Chris Stefiak jumping into the pits. I believe Brian Anderson. How many people? So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3. So Michael Menning, Philip Vicini haven't jumped into the pit yet. Matt Lehman probably in there now. John Dilliard and Brooker Quigg.
And Dog in the chat says, "What is a cuddle? Never heard of it." I think he's elected to go for the no family part and just sim race. So sim racing is his #1 priority.
That's right.
I wish we could all do that. As Dromo elects to head into the pits now.
Be leaving soon. There we go.
There we go.
Jay Allen. Chilling off the track.
Stefiak, why is he yellow flagged for me?
And Allen Alt F4s the race.
Oh,
Not
no.
sure what happened there. Yep.
Sorry, Jason.
unlucky.
Jason Allen, one of our team champion winners from season 2, I believe, right? With
I do not remember.
with the Audi team with the Flying Aces.
Well, on the off chance that you are a champion, good job.
Looks like that was Jeromo's second pit. He had done one at the 30-minute mark and again at the 33. I wonder if he forgot to take fuel.
No.
We actually
He's
have
doing
a
so
few
well too.
pits. We have Nick Wagner as well, dropping one in 26th minute and again in the 29.
Tyler James and Johnson both in the pits right now. Carter, the yellow flag, chilling on the track. Looks like he might have just spun by himself. I'm not quite sure.
Oh, scary. The reverse. Lucky no one's behind him there. Tyler James on his way out of the pit. 15th. Again, considering the contact, not a bad place to be.
Brian Anderson getting the job done, going around the outside of Brooker Quigg into turn 3.
Oh my goodness. Chris Stefiak, Sanchez.
Now
Quigg
Quigg has
and
Sanchez
Anderson,
right up
yeah.
his tailpipe.
And now Durant's trying to join up on the fun.
Oh, and they go around.
Yep, as looks like Sanchez catches a little bit of the rear corner of Quigg as he continues to drop back here.
He does get going again with that. Not wasting too much time. I hope we didn't get much damage there.
Unlucky.
Doesn't look like he got any damage. Looks like it was just a textbook pit maneuver. Not sure if there's any cops watching. They'd start cheering.
Don't get me started.
Taking advantage. Oh god. David Funk taking advantage of the chaos, moving up to 12th. Okay, he started.
And maybe Jess can speak from personal experience here. He's on the run, guys.
Just gonna say, might be more to that story. I don't know if I want to hear it.
No. Just, I'm very opinionated, is all.
We actually have Derek Stack looking at the stats here, who's actually done 3 pits. So,
Oof.
you know, yeah, it might have been an unlucky race for him. Looks like he's in 35th right now. So, probably more to that story, I would imagine. Classic Red Bull fan. We have wise guys in the chat here. Mr. Cranky, very appropriate name.
All the gaps have closed down again. You're seeing a lot of battles starting to form on track here. Wagner, Boardman, and Shorts, all within a half a second of each other, competing for 20th position.
Liam Brooks making his way around, chasing the McLaren. Eric Boardman.
And Boardman is having an absolute showstopper of a race. He's gained 11 positions, and through stint 1, he's, as you just mentioned, reeled in Anderson and Schwartz for a good fight.
Ooh, he's on fire, that guy.
Keep going, Boardman.
Keep going.
Our top gainer is, I think, a new-ish face, Travis Minicus. Yeah, Minicus, not Minkus. Minicus. Gaining 12 positions, it looks like. Yeah, position delta from the start. Yeah, he started 39, and now he's 27. Good stuff, man.
Good work, Travis. I knew he had it in him.
You know him?
It. No, I don't.
Oh,
It's
don't bait
actually
me
the
like
first
that.
time I've ever seen his name. I'm trying to pump him up.
Sorry for ruining it. I should stop asking questions.
That's
Go with the
alright.
flow, right?
Yeah.
Question nothing. And we got some moves. Nick Wagner, I don't know if that's Wagner, like the musician, getting around Eric Boardman.
It was a bit of a risky move there that I was watching. Looks like there was a blue flag that they were trying to navigate there. Very
Sparks
interesting.
flying as the cars bottom out.
Sand joining in on the fun. 3/10 off of Boardman, who's 3/10 off of Wagner.
Well, certainly not a boring race, right? Glad about that.
Back up ahead for our fight for E7.
Chris Stefiak.
I've seen a lot of him this stream, but he's been in a lot of top 10 fights right now, so
Right, yeah.
not surprising.
Zeller's Library.
I'm gonna strangle you if you
He
say
may be,
library again.
Oh yeah.
Livery.
You're-
Green,
Liv
yeah.
Moss, livery.
I don't think they have Taco Bell up there. They only have Tim Hortons.
Oh my god.
Just only Timmy's in every street corner.
That's probably what it is.
Boardman falling off the tail of Wagner as Sand is desperately trying to get around 2 or 3/10 off, going back and forth here. Definitely wants to get by. Very, like we were saying before, a hard track to get around. Sand gets a better run out of that last chicane there and going up this last straight. Looking up the inside, seeing if he can make something happen. Boardman takes the apex and slides out a little bit out to the outside, trying to defend there. Bit him a little bit as Sand takes the position. It looks like we have a yellow flag from Brooks, who is chilling off the track. Looks like he's waiting for a good position to get back on.
That Mercedes, tons of damage there. Or at least from the back, it didn't look so clean. Maybe from the front, he might be okay.
Where's the time gone? We've only got 20 minutes left in this race.
It's been action-packed. It really has.
Looks
I
like,
just know these drivers are sweating. It's been, for
It
most
gotta
of them,
be.
it's been a battle the whole time.
It really has.
we
You just
have
know you make one mistake and your position's gone. Sorry, Paulette, go ahead.
the battle of the admins here. Evan Kim and Daehee Yun, as Daehee parks it on the apex. Not sure what happened there, as legend and sex icon Evan Kim gets by.
I have heard that. I have heard that.
Many people are saying this.
Yeah, I've read it. Many people are saying that. The lime green Porsche of Danny Durrance crosses the line.
Oh, we got some side-by-side action. This is in turn one. Ryan Anderson and Steffi Stoll getting into it. Or no,
Also
that's Max
sponsored.
Sanchez. Excuse me.
Oof.
Billiard and Bellinger trading positions here. Both still side by side, as that Audi Powa tries to go ahead. Brooker Quigg trying to join in on the fight, making it almost 3 wide here. They all get through safely. My goodness,
Look at
not
that.
much room there.
I don't even know which one to watch, the picture-in-picture or the main one.
He's directing the pit.
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
so much going. Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot going
Big
on.
pick.
Now Funk joining in on the action. 3/10 off.
Funk has made up quite a few places.
Quigg looking up the inside of Bellinger. See if he can make something happen here. We've seen these Porsche do this all day here. Doesn't make any move happen. McLaren takes the apex defensive position as Quigg falls off a little bit. Quigg having a bit of a worse exit than than his fellow drivers there, as Funk is catching up from behind. See if any of these people can make something happen, as we see all that rear end damage on the number 39 Crazy Rabbits Racing machine.
Yeah.
5/10 off of Quigg there, falling back behind again. Quigg closing up the gap to Bellinger a little bit more. He's got that toe locked down.
Absolutely, but can he make anything of it? Ooh, he peeks inside a little bit. Look at this train of 4 cars. Whew. Bellinger, Quigg, Funk, and Johnson coming up from behind, I believe.
They call it.
Johnson is 8.4 seconds off.
It's
Oh,
David Funk
the
bringing
wrong
up the
guy.
rear.
Right.
Billiard putting the gap on all of them. Bellinger now 1 second behind.
Lehman, I mean, Michael Menning, the blazing race, nearly 10 seconds ahead.
Hey, he's on autopilot. He's sleepwalking.
He is. He is.
Not even racing anybody. He's just hot lapping.
That's right. At this point, he's just dodging the blue flags. The McLaren coming through the frame.
Members Casas with the yellow flag. Blows through T1.
Can't park this, huh?
Hopefully he doesn't have any penalties from that.
believe the stewards will have their hands full. However, with the lap 1 incidences, I believe Jess said there was just under 15.
Yep.
So, yeah. The less incidents, the better, I'm sure, for these guys. It might be a late night. These four are still keeping it together.
Colin Johnson has now gained 22 positions from his start at P36. What a race!
Jeez.
Good job, Colin. I don't recognize you. I don't think we met before. Good stuff.
That is wild. From the top, Michael Menning has kept his place from the qualifying position, as well as Matt Lehman, Grant Klinsing making up 2 spots, Diego going down 1, and Max Sanchez making up 5 spots for the top 5.
Chris Moses getting around Danny Durance.
Yeah.
So it looks like Chris Steffiak is taking the position from Brian Anderson. Maybe not. Brian Anderson elects to just go through the chicane there.
Playing it safe.
Guess he blew through his braking point just a little bit there and
Oof.
gives a couple positions up, unfortunately. Now under immediate pressure from behind from Durance. 1/10 off.
Side by side into turn 3 and 4. Make it clean. Oh, no!
Oh!
What happened here?
I think that was a bit of a
David Funk
maybe a
coming together, losing his.
Yeah, he might have not anticipated that defensive swerving a little bit. Lost it. I believe he has some damage on the rear, and the Audi I find can be a bit tricky to contain, period. So with that rear damage, it makes it all the harder.
Yep.
Wagner 3/10 off of the back of Matt Schwartz.
At this point in the race as well, the
Oh,
drivers
David
will-
Funk goes around. What happened here?
Doing a
See the
3-point
replay.
turn on the track.
Left, right, left. No, 2 left.
Oh,
Fishtail. Yep.
unlucky.
Sorry, man.
Unlucky for Funk.
It wasn't game over.
Yeah, he's still on the still driving.
Oh, as Matt Schwartz spins himself around. See what happened here. Just goes through the chicane. Hits that inside curb. Oh, launches 4 wheels
Ooh.
off the ground
Wow.
and into the wall.
Oh, backwards at that.
Yep.
Unlucky. This is the point at which, not only you battling other drivers, you're kind of battling the tires as well. Things are starting to fall apart a little bit. So it's a bit trickier to drive near the end of the race. You're lighter on fuel, so the car's a bit more nimble. It's definitely
David Funk
interesting.
visiting the sand again.
Unlucky for him.
Taylor
Unlucky.
Carter and Bradley Busick getting around him for it.
Wig 2/10 off the back of Bellinger. Who's 6/10 off the back of Dilliard.
Wig is hungry.
I mean, we've been watching him all race. He's been in battles after battle after battle.
Who stopped there?
Looks like Michael
Jeffries.
Jeffries.
See the
What
replay.
happened to him?
That's a lot of rotation.
Oh, it's like the same spot. Very
Yep.
Antistari claiming another life.
It's a very tricky corner, and he was probably thinking about smoking meats, sitting there on the straightaway by himself, and maybe lost control of the car a little bit there, dreaming of pork chops and
hear he's a big meta
Pork
fan.
roast. We have a meat smoking channel here at SRA. So if you're a meat lover, maybe go in
Cured,
there and check it out.
spiced, grilled, barbecued.
I thought you were referencing what's his name, Zuckerberg. That's like literally all I can think of whenever I
Oh
hear
yeah, yeah, out here smoking meats.
out here smoking meats. That's literally all I can think of when anyone says that.
Well,
Man, it's not
speaking
human.
of smoking, looks like Bellinger has smoked on past Dilliard. I don't know if that works.
I
that was-
don't like where you're
It
going with
works.
this. Pump
It
the brakes on
works.
that.
I don't. Oh, I didn't even. Okay.
Look,
We'll go with it.
look, it's a broken Segway. It's out of battery, okay?
It's all good.
But
Oh, we're torturing these analogies.
Not an innuendo. It's a car reference, all right?
Never mind.
David Funk, I believe, is in the pits. Yeah, dropping back. Passed by Boardman as well as Nick Sand.
only 8 minutes of this race left to go as the Audi of Dilliard's looking on the inside, trying to make something happen. All these drivers are going to be desperately clawing for their last couple of positions. Anyone who's in a battle right now is looking at who they're going to overtake potentially. So I know the drivers in front are sweating, probably unable to hold on to their wheel. But yeah, 7 minutes, 30 seconds left. We're going to see how this plays out. See who's going to get these last couple positions as Brooker Quigg is looking up on the inside of Dilliard, takes a position. We're going to see if he can maintain this on the straight. We have seen the Porsche lose on speed all day to the Audi as the Audi rockets ahead.
You can't keep
Dilliard
getting away with it.
Getting squeezed there. He's getting squeezed, but he
He
keeps it.
was in an advantageous position on the inside, but just at that last moment, that Crazy Rabbits machine number 90 pulled out ahead of him.
Might not have been the exit he wanted, though.
Now the Porsche
Might
showing
be
how
nice.
agile it can be out of those corners. It's happy
That's
taking the late apex straighter line.
That's right.
Yep, side by side going through the Lesmos right now. Brooker Quigg is falling behind just a little bit there, but we're going to see how he goes through this next braking zone.
Oh,
Has to take the curb there a little
Did
bit.
leave room.
Did leave
Yep.
room. I was going to say, respect, no contact.
As he loses the advantage here now, 2/10 off.
He does as they power through the curve de Lesmo.
Another close battle while the main camera is looking at that one. I'm looking at Durant's here in the picture-in-picture, trying to overtake Brian Anderson.
That's been another interesting one that we've been keeping an eye on, those two.
Yeah, Anderson is making his NASA-themed Lamborghini a rocket today.
Absolutely. I question the funding. I thought they were supposed to be sending people to space, but apparently they are sponsoring racing.
Hey, man, a lot of money to be spent. Okay,
That's right.
if they can fleece the taxpayers anymore, they'll do it.
I, for one,
Right.
would welcome their expertise in high G, high speed environments.
Fair
Hey,
play.
Yeah, it's true.
Who knows high G better than them?
I mean, there's so much, like, aerospace, aerodynamics and whatnot research that goes into these cars. It's pretty much an airplane on wheels. It's kind of just flying on the ground if you think about it.
Basically, it's an airplane with the wings flipped upside down to
Mhm,
put two
mhm.
downforce instead of lift. So
Mhm.
you're absolutely right.
I hope I didn't just cause a bunch of engineers to close the stream.
It's all right. It's 10:41. They're in bed anyway.
And now you just did it. Oh, sorry.
David Funk back out. Good stuff.
Never quit.
Never quit. I like it.
You could get another 3 positions or so.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yep.
Looks like the Mountain Dew caffeine high for Durant's has worn off a little bit as he backs off of the astronaut. 1 second gap. Moving on to taking a look back rather at Brooker Quigg, 4/10 off of Dilliard, battling for 11th position.
Putting the pressure on.
All the gaps have spread out. Saying that, taking a look up the field, we're taking a look at Chris Stefiak and Fambers Casas
look at the
once
pip.
again.
My God, those two.
They've been back and forth all day.
Race.
It's ridiculous. Those gloves might come off, and there might be some hands thrown at the end of this one.
That's right. Luckily, this is virtual.
Well, and they make it side by side through the whole chicane.
Honestly, if there was a drivers of the day, I'd probably give it to those two.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the ability for them to have these incredible battles, and as far as I know, none of contact.
So clean, so respectful.
And great racing too. It's genuinely been a back and forth. It's not like one guy's been dominating.
Stefiak
Diego getting around Chris.
Rooker putting the pressure on too, though. It's like it's hard to focus on one battle. There's so many going on.
Rance spun around.
Oh no!
Unlucky right near the end too. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, like I told you, that caffeine high is worn off for him.
Damn.
No more Mountain Dew.
No more Mountain Dew. This Taco Bell's out of the Baja Blast. That's it.
This Baja's been blasted.
Stefiak once again in the picture-in-picture, side by side with Fambers Casas.
My God.
It's ridiculous. Chris Moses trying to capitalize on the situation. Now 6/10 off of these folks.
If anyone had money between Stefiak and Fambers Casas, they'd money down on between them. They'd have a hernia by now. The race is it's just so close to battling back and forth. Look at this angle. Can't get any closer.
Looks like Anderson gets around Jeffries.
That Chris Moses as well, putting on the pressure as well from behind. Guess the battling has slowed the pair of them down.
Yes, sir.
Casting and Stefiak, so Moses is having a go at it now as well.
Almost into the rear.
With only a minute 30 left in this race, like I said, everyone's trying to bunch up again as Dromo is trying to get around Boardman, and he makes the pass, and Boardman gets back around him again. What?
Moses
Trading positions as they go onto the main street.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying, Colin mentioned that Chris Moses had a great race, and he has 10 positions gained. Congrats to him and laying on the pressure.
And Funk and Schwartz are also trading positions back and forth. The Honda and Audi side by side. Looks like Funk is pulling ahead there, though. There's Dromo and Boardman once again trade positions not far behind.
Dromo going a little bit wide. It looks like pushing Boardman off the track a tiny bit. We'll see if Boardman has a good go at the exit here.
Once again, Schwartz and Funk trading back and forth again, and Funk pulls ahead. And 10 seconds left of the race. As you heard there, the leaders on the final lap.
Brooker Quigg getting around Dilliard. Dilliard might strike back into turn one. Here we go.
Is he going to? Oh, he's definitely got a great exit. Look at him flying.
He's got to leave the apex, but he gets the inside for the left-hander. And the Porsche goes very wide. Poor exit. Job done. John Dilliard reclaims P10.
Top 10, I like it.
Now Dromo, Schwartz, and Funk all battling for the same position. battling for 21st place.
When you're already getting a little loose in front of him.
Ooh.
Audi goes real defensive. Porsche might get a better exit, but he doesn't.
This angle's stressing me out.
And you heard it here, guys. Michael Menning finishing the race first place. Fantastic race from him. Matt Lehman coming in not too far behind in second place. Grant Cleansing coming in at third place. Fantastic race from him too. Everyone's battling for their last couple positions here. As Sanchez is coming around for his final lap, crossing the finish line for fourth place. Chris Stefiak not far behind in fifth place. Fimbers Casas, who we've been looking at all night, finishing sixth place. Moses and Anderson. Moses in seventh place, Anderson in eighth place. Those folks are really close together. Bellinger in eighth place. Dilliard in ninth place. Quigg 10th. Durance 11th. Johnson finishing in 12th. Tyler James, we saw had some issues, is coming around for a 13th place finish. Taylor Carter about to cross the line for a 14th place finish, followed close behind by Wagner. Bradley Busick coming in 16th place. Jeffries crossing the line for an 18th place, followed close behind by Nick Sand. Matt Schwartz coming in 20th place, followed very close behind by Jeromo, Funk, and Boardman. Minicus in 24th place, Daehee Yun, 25th place, Evan Kim in 26th place. Looks like Daehee took that position back from him. Gardner for 27th, Stallworth 28th. Brooks, 29th. Kinger, 30th. And Victor Diaz bringing up the rear in 31st.
I want to call out some of the big changes that we've had. Colin Johnson finishing 13th with a whopping 23 places made up.
Outstanding.
Travis, unbelievable. It's like it's questionable almost. Travis Minikis with a whopping 14 as well. That's pretty substantial, as well as Taylor Carter also nailed down the 14 places gained. So those are the top three.
Justin, if you want to write this down, Menning in first place.
Lehman and Ginsing for gold, and I believe it's Sanchez, Stefiak, and Moses for silver.
Yep, there you go.
I got it.
Way ahead of me. Cool.
Way ahead of you.
All right, well, we're going to take a look for our podium finishers from each division to try to bring up here for a little bit of an interview if we can find them. Some of them tend to be elusive, but that was a fantastic race.
I think one of the best of the season, actually. I was really shocked. This coming from Monza, of all places. Were you able to find those drivers? Hello?
I'm looking for them right now.
Grant Cleansing is in general, so I'm going to bring them into the cooldown. Who else did we have? Michael Menning bringing into the cooldown. And who else are we looking for gold? There's Matt Lehman.
Lehman and Cleansing.
Okay.
And I'll tag the silver guys so they're ready as well.
Who are we looking for in silver?
Sanchez, Stefiak, and Moses.
Sanchez. Stefiak. Stefiak and Moses elected not to join in. Matt Lehman is in here. Stefiak and Moses are not here. Okay, so I'm going to bring our race winner in now. Mr. Menning.
What a race. You made it look easy.
Race.
Crushed it.
Thank you.
How were you feeling out there? I mean, you had such a big gap on the grid. I mean, what was your secret?
I mean, nothing big. I mean, the Aston must have been quick here because I mean, like the first laps I was doing, it was pretty quick. But honestly, I'm really glad I was able to get that gap at the start because I know Matt fell back a little bit and I got a little bit of a gap and I was making a lot of mistakes, but that gap really saved me because Matt was making up time a lot of laps. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there was some very intense battling just behind you for fourth place. I think that held up a lot of very fast drivers who could have contested you.
right.
But I mean, we were watching it just all race. Quig and Sanchez were just back and forth, and you know, it definitely allowed you and Matt to really pull away from the rest of the grid. But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic to see you just rocket away from everyone there. Fantastic consistency, and we know how hard that can be at this track, especially with how twitchy some of these corners can be. You know, did you elect for a more or less twitchy setup? You know, what was your reasoning behind your setup today for stability or outright speed?
Just speed. I knew I was doing a zero wing setup, but it was between a lot of rake and no rake, uh, and I went for the lot of rake because I can't find as much pace in this setup as anything else. But it's really twitchy, especially on high fuel, which isn't something I tested, but we got there in the end. Yeah, it was not a great setup to do for the race, but we got there. It's all right.
I mean, for if you say it was a twitchy setup and during a high fuel, you performed absolutely phenomenally under high fuel load. I mean, you instantly rocket away from the rest of the field. I mean, I think within 5 laps, you were up like 3 or 4 seconds from the rest of the grid. So,
Yeah,
um,
they were caught battling so much. Like I just watched the Delta just get further and further just because they were battling so much at the start.
yeah, well, that was a amazing race. Is there anyone you want to shout out or any tips or tricks that you want to give for the people who are going to be racing tomorrow?
Uh, I just want to shout out Kyle McGinnis. He definitely didn't ask for this, but go him. But no, just be careful. Like I mean, like because I wasn't involved because I already saw some of the stuff that happened, but just be careful, be smooth. A lot of people DNF this race, so if you just stay safe, you will rock the race. Like, yeah,
Good advice.
that's about it.
Yeah,
Good
there
advice.
was a lot of fast drivers who got caught up in some of the shenanigans on lap one, T1. But yeah, thank you so much and congratulations on the win.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right.
While we get the next person in here, I want to shout out first of all of our Patreon supporters that help support and Discord that help support this operation, and namely the ones who are in the race today: Daehee Yoon, Evan Kim, Tyler James, and Ramon Lorenzo. Thanks for all the support, and also Paulie Hartman, who in the
Hey,
booth
hey.
here with me. Thanks for the support.
All right. Now I'm going to bring up the next person. Came in second place, Matt Lehman.
In the first stint, oh,
Hey
Hey,
Matt,
Matt.
welcome to the booth.
Sorry to cut you off from your conversation with the other race winners there, but um, fantastic race today. I said that we'd see you up in the booth here at least a couple more times this season, and here you are. Second place finish from you. Fantastic race. How are you feeling out there?
yeah, thanks, man. I'll take a B2. You know, obviously this season hasn't uh, hasn't exactly worked out for me. You know, this is like my first points finish, but you know, it was a solid run. Like I definitely had pace. Not quite to Michael up there in P1. Like he was beating me by like a tenth or so per lap. So you know, definitely props to him. But you know, solid drive. You know, had a nice couple battles early on. So was fun.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the booth here a second ago saying that you were making him nervous towards the end there, that you were gaining a little bit after a little bit towards the end. And we saw you during the beginning. You had a lot of intense battling to try to jockey for that second position, and it was a lot of fantastic racing. from you and all the folks behind you. Definitely helped secure that position. The battle for fourth was very intense. I don't know if you were paying attention to your deltas in the bottom left there, but yeah, there was a lot of people jockeying for positions just behind you. Definitely helped contribute to that. But uh,
One of the things,
how'd you feel out there? What
yeah.
was your setup feeling like?
It was pretty loose, not gonna lie. The back end kept kicking around, so like I kept having to adjust the TC like every single lap.
Wow.
Um, yeah. Um, so I mean, if I were to do it all over again, like I think just a couple like tweaks to the setup, and I think I would have gained a whole lot more pace. As yeah, especially towards the second stint, like with the tires kind of half dead, like I was struggling quite a bit.
One of the
Yeah,
things that Paulie asked Michael was what would your what would your advice be for the fellow drivers driving tomorrow, having driven this race just now and podium.
So first things like definitely in practice, just do a long run, right? Because the handling of the car is going to change, as the tires get older. So the car might feel fine, when you're just starting off on a full fuel load, but halfway through the race, it's not going to feel as good. So just gotta make sure like your setup's kind of dialed in, so it's kind of neutral throughout the whole stint, and just watch out for the sausage cars, man, because they kill.
and one last question for you here, Matt. New car this season. How are you feeling with the BMW?
I'm not fully up to speed yet, to be honest. Um, like ever since I played this game, like I've only been driving the McLaren, so just figured for this season, like it was about time to make a change, So switched to a front engine rear wheel drive setup. Just thought it was something different, and like it's okay. Like I'm not doing too bad, I don't think. Um,
Yeah, it seems to be working out for you.
but yeah, I think there's still more time to be gained for sure.
All right, thank you so much, Matt, and congratulations on your P2 position here in this race. And we'll look forward to seeing you up in this booth again this season.
Congrats, Matt.
Cheers, thank you guys. See y'all next week.
Yep. All right. Um, do you want to? Is there any more supporters that you want to shout out before I bring up our third place?
Oh, that's it for me.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to bring up our third place finisher, Grant Cleansing. Grant, welcome to the booth, man. And we saw you out there, had a fantastic race. What were your thoughts?
Um, Mainly just pray to make it through the first couple of laps.
True, true,
That's generally
true,
a good
true.
idea.
Fair and true and
Um,
real and true
And I hear it and I feel it.
and valid.
yeah, honestly, I was very happy with how everything went. I was not expecting to actually to be up near the front that late in the race, and just I got lucky the fact that with Riley coming up on the inside on T1 lap one, I thought everything was kind of done for at that point. So I was just happy that things worked out, and I was as close to Lehman at the end.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of carnage there at T1, lap one. A lot of fast drivers were knocked out pretty early, including Riley. He had a very unfortunate race, and wound up actually sitting in pits for the rest of it. That was someone that definitely could have contested that for you, but yeah, it was a lot of carnage out there. And hopefully we don't repeat that for the upcoming races. But we saw that you had quite a bit of battles going on. A lot of people trying to contest your position there through that entire race. I mean, what were you feeling in those battles?
Yeah, honestly, when Riley did get knocked out there, I got the opportunity to get past Lehman, and then at that point I was like, okay, let's see how long we can actually defend this, because I knew that he definitely had pace on me. Um, I very much felt like a cork in the bottle for a lot of that a lot of that stuff. Diego was quick, being right behind me, so all I knew is like it's difficult if you actually go to exits to actually be able to pass these. So that's what I was trying to focus on.
I mean,
Yeah,
you managed to keep it ahead of them, so congrats for that.
Yeah, thanks. Everything kind of worked out okay on that one.
So one of the things that's been pretty interesting is Paulie's been asking, there. What if you could give advice to the people driving tomorrow? What would your advice be on Monza?
Honestly, I feel like Monza is one of them. Is as long as you can avoid getting into somebody from on the first couple of laps, you should be good. I mean, the Audi's the tricky one. Is if somebody's like specifically in the Audi, you always have to be careful through Ascari. It's really easy to spin it through there, but I feel like it's really fast through the rest of it. So um, basically, is what I try to do is try to go and bump TC before I actually had started to hit Ascari, just so I can have a little bit extra traction, and I don't really care about how fast my exit is at that point because I got to make it through there first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so hopefully these drivers are listening to some of this advice here. And we saw a lot of people make big mistakes through Ascari today. That inside curb taking a lot of people out, especially those who had loose and low setups. That little dip there on the right was pretty killer. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us up here, Mr. Cleansing, and congratulations on the P3 finish.
Congratulations.
Great job, man.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully, it'll be at least one more this season.
Easy.
Absolutely.
All right, and we're gonna bring up Chris Stefyik. And where did Chris Stefyik finish again? He was
Definitely goes second. Sanchez was first, and Moses was third.
and Sanchez looks like elected to
Yep.
hop back in general. So I'm just gonna pull up Chris Stefyik here. Mr. Stefyik,
Hey, the
that
star of
was
the
a
show.
fantastic. Yeah, we were following you pretty much all night. You were going back and forth between a lot of drivers the entire time. It was you and Quig, if I'm not mistaken, just lap after lap trading positions. That was such an interesting battle to watch. I mean, it had to be the entire race. You guys
Yeah,
are
it
trading
was at least
positions.
for the first 25 minutes with Diego in front of me and Brooker behind me. It was very stressful between two Porsches.
It was like a ballet. You guys were just
Wonderful to
like
watch.
like perfectly, like inches between your cars, like going to the left and right, poking your head
It
out.
was sick.
It was fantastic. Oh yeah.
It was a lot of
Um,
fun.
Definitely the most interesting battle. I'm just going to say it right here. The most interesting battle all season to watch. And there was the longest battle this season, I believe.
Yep, that's the longest battle I've ever had. That was crazy.
Nearly all race.
Yeah, I think you may need to be auctioning off your socks or something because they're gonna they must be sweaty.
Right. They're very sweaty.
That's right. Toss those in the wash immediately. Maybe sign them. Try to sell them.
No, don't wash them. Those are those are podium socks right there. Can't
That's right.
wash
Definitely
those.
not drinking through these right now.
No, dear God, gonna get sick.
Yeah, the hopefully you don't elect to use those for any shoeies that might happen at the end of the season. But yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal to watch. What were your thoughts towards the end there? I mean, did you think that you were going to hang on to position, or uh, was it just like praying every single time that the Porsche would get ahead of you and then you would rocket in front of them on the straights? I mean, what were what were your thoughts about that?
Because of the nature of the Porsche, I think my best chance was out dragging him down the straight, and hopefully he doesn't outbrake me into the first chicane, but that never ended up working out. What he pit early though, so that was my chance to have some open track to get ahead of him and overcut him, and I did by about 2 seconds, but then I threw it all away, hitting the apex curve, a second Lesmo going off, lost about 6 seconds, and that let him and Max Sanchez through. But then Diego just suffered from his front tires suffered at the end of the race, so I managed to get him with about on the second to last lap, so that felt good.
Yeah, and so this is a big change for you coming from last season. Now you're consistently in the upper pack. How are you feeling about this Honda?
Really good. It's super consistent. It took a little while in the off season to get used to the balance of it, but I really like it. It's been a lot of fun. I've also just realized that Diego and I basically switched cars because he was in the Honda last season
Yeah,
and I was in
yeah.
the Porsche.
So I mean, it's been fantastic watching you climb up the grid, and consistently getting great finishers out there, and watching your beautiful livery. That is absolutely fantastic. My
Thanks, guys.
favorite from all the different liveries in the league, and we have a lot of really good ones. But I think that in my opinion, it's my favorite, near and dear to my heart. But the NASCAR inspiration, I mean, just beautiful.
Thanks, guys. Yeah,
We love it.
I like putting time into delivery, so nice to see that people enjoy it.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That was P2 for the silver division. And hope to see you up here some more this season.
Thanks. I hope so as well.
Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
All right. And our last person that is in the Discord, I'm going to bring up Max Sanchez. Hopefully he wants to have an interview.
Hey,
Max
Max.
Sanchez. Sorry
Hello.
to cut you off from general and keep moving you around like that.
No, it's fine.
But that was a P1 for the silver division. How are you feeling out there?
Yeah, that was the car felt great. And I've had a lot of bad luck in like the past few races, so I don't know. Finally had a decent race, good
Say
race.
not tonight. You did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so you
thanks.
were switching from the BMW last season, if I'm not mistaken, and
Well, it was an
I-
Audi last season. Yeah,
Audi last season. Were you in the BMW for season 2 though, right?
season 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you feeling about the Honda?
I do like the Honda pretty a lot. I think it's better than the Audi because the Audi last season it didn't feel very stable to me at least, and I didn't feel really comfortable with the car. But with the Honda, it feels definitely way better.
And a lot of great battles out there on grid. I mean, how are you feeling about your battles and the overall grid position shuffling that was happening out up front there?
Yeah, I think after the pit stop, that's when like I started making up some places. I did have a contact with Quig that I'm still want to look at the replay to see what exactly happened, but I mean overall I think it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, I mean, you, Quig, and Fimbers Casas were back and forth along with Chris Defiak. I mean, it was like a dance out there with you guys. Fantastic racing out there. It was the most interesting battles that I've seen all season. And I think one of the closest podium battles that we've had all season. Normally, you see and we did have this with Matt Lehman and
Oh yeah.
uh, pull out in front, and Michael Menning pull out in front. But I mean, you guys were back and forth all race. Just absolutely fantastic racing.
Yeah, it was great racing from everyone. Yeah, I agree.
And if we're gonna see more of that this season, I'm very, very, very excited for the rest of it. So we definitely hope to see you up here many more times, and hopefully you can bring us some more of that awesome action.
Thanks guys.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Congrats.
Alrighty. Thank you.
All right, and I believe that concludes our stream for today. Thank you so much for joining in. It's been fantastic hosting you guys. And thank you for sitting with us as we try to figure out our new software.
It's been fun.
Yeah, but I hope everything is worked out, and I hope everything looked good on your end. If you have any feedback for us, be sure to let us know, and we'd be glad to see it.
Yeah, please leave a comment, leave some feedback, and
Yeah.
remember, your opinions matter at least 4 times as much if you share it in the Discord.
But I saw a comment from Latufo earlier on saying that he wanted the box on the left to be a little bit bigger to make it easier to read the names and numbers.
But I was trying to
So,
fit everybody on. People would be clipped. Otherwise, trying to fit the max number of drivers I could.
Yeah.
It'd be better if I was broadcasting at 1440p, but I'm downscaling to 1080p. Some detail is lost.
Damn you, Twitch.
Damn.
But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us, and I guess we're signing off. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.